to throw. There's a long pass. I believe. The Giants run the pennant. The Giants run the pennant. Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ. Lays it in. Right out one second left. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. Oh, wow. In your life have you seen anything like that? No. Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight and the Mets win it.
The band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. He's going to go in the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles? Yes.
Hit it, Roy.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program, where we talk to sports and other stuff, like snow. That's right. We've had quite the blizzard here in the Northeast, and my brain is frozen. Speaking of which, what do you give a snowman to help him relax?
I don't know.
A chill pill.
Oh.
I'm Roy Harder, and here's your host, Mr. Eastside David McDonald, everybody. There he
Thank
is.
you so much, Roy. Thank you. Thank you for embarrassing me in front of our very special guest, our esteemed guest, the single greatest video game player of all time, has decided to join us on our huge football special. We are going to talk Notre Dame, Ohio State, Daddy.
Yeah.
I got the sign right behind me that has given me nothing but good luck. Play like a champion today. That sign was bestowed on me by Ron Bennington from the Ron and Fez office, and it's given me nothing but good luck on a miracle run. We'll discuss Notre Dame, Ohio State. We'll discuss the 4 NFL playoff games that just happened over the weekend, but we are also going to discuss video games, controversy, chaos, crime in the video game world, crime. We're going to get into a very, very serious crime. And to break it all down, when you think video games, you think one person, Daddy. Put it together for the legend, the GOAT, Billy Mitchell. Come on. Billy, thank you for joining us today. We have been longtime friends, sometimes rivals.
Friends? It takes more than a friend. I'm supposed to be in Washington, D.C. at this moment giving some directives at a very important event. You said you need me on the show, so I canceled, and I'm here with you. That's more than a friend. More than a friend.
That's right. That's right. Listen, Roy, he drops everything for the Davey Mac Sports Program. You understand that, Roy? And the reason why is because we treat Billy Mitchell with the goddamn respect that he deserves. I am so sick and tired. Who is this Carl Jobst guy? You don't have to talk about him if you want. But every 3 or 4 weeks, some little weasel emails me a video from this Carl Jobst on YouTube. The whole guy's goddamn YouTube channel is to run down our man, the god of gaming, Billy Mitchell. And I'm like, what have you ever done for video games, Carl Jobst? Nothing. Nada. Now, I'm sorry, Billy. I'm a little fired up today. Okay? But it's a big day. Some guy's getting sworn into the fucking White House or something, they tell me. That's not why I am having anxiety. I got the Notre Dame anxiety, and I got the Billy Mitchell getting bullshit from this Carl Jobst. Pardon my language, Bill. You know I try to keep it clean for you. I apologize. That's Roy Harder potty mouth talk, and I apologize. Who is this guy? Why is he obsessed with you?
Well, you have to often ask when somebody is obsessed with you why. But let me tell you, if he didn't have me to talk about, he wouldn't have a lot to talk about. Now, he does have a video that you might be interested in. It's a video where he explains and tries to show people how to pick up women.
Oh,
So, keep going, Billy. I could use some tips.
where's that link?
So
he's a real interesting guy, and I make it a habit not to talk about him because I don't give him the satisfaction. But it's been really interesting. I've had 2 trips down to Australia to meet with him in
picked up a lot of women
in a little room with a judge at the podium.
Yeah.
So we should have some news about that, like in about 2 weeks.
Roy, I believe he's inferring a lawsuit. Maybe.
So it sounds like that's what it sounds like.
No, it will be the conclusion to the suit.
Okay. Oh,
yes.
That's a Roy Harder move. He'll sue anybody. Roy sued his own parents one time.
Twice, David. Twice. Once upon birth, and the second time upon my the reading of their will.
Billy, we're so excited you're here, and there is a lot of fantastic news regarding the Billy Mitchell man. All right, we're extremely excited by this because there's going to be a new Netflix documentary featuring Bill, featuring Steve Wiebe. The name of it, though, is called Arcades and Love Songs, The Walter Day Story. 20 years after The King of Kong, this documentary is going to focus on Walter Day, who resigned as there it is. Billy's holding up the Walter Day hot sauce bottle. And Walter Day resigned in 2010 at Twin Galaxies. That's the company, and that's the record book, and that's the video game record-keeping center. Walter created that in the early 80s. He left Twin Galaxies to pursue a music career. Roy Harder, he reminds me of you in some ways. I think we should get Walter Day and Roy Harder teaming up, and I'm being dead serious about that.
Oh, yeah. I'd make an album with him. Why not?
Have you ever seen Walter Day play guitar and sing some of his songs, Roy?
I have not, David. I have not.
Billy, what's the matter with Roy? He hasn't seen King of Kong?
I don't think he really gets out of the studio too much, and since he barely knows how to turn on the equipment, he doesn't see much of anything.
Bill, what's this about? You participated. This documentary is going to be hitting Netflix in February. So as a massive King of Kong fan, that's how I actually got I had seen Billy in other places, but what says you? What are you doing in this doc?
So it is a spin-off from The King of Kong. It's not a sequel. It's more or less about what happened to Walter Day after The King of Kong. But it begins all the way back in the 70s when he lived in Texas as an oil broker. He moved to Iowa. He opened an arcade. He started a scoreboard. He held history's first esports event. And he built competitive gaming over the years. Well, quite honestly, it's 2010, it's 2014, today it's 2025. And although he's 75 years old, the theme of the movie is it's never too late to dream. And so now he's begun another phase of his life, which is his music career. And his music career first hit him all the way back in the mid-'80s. He realized that it's what he wanted to pursue. Would he ever pursue it? And finally, as a ripe elderly fella, he is actually pursuing it. And so that's where the story goes. And his friends from the gaming community, which include you,
yes,
are helping encourage, push, and promote him to that next phase of his dreams.
I'm 100% behind Walter Day's musical career. I'm being dead serious.
So
if Walter Day finds himself,
love songs is what
Billy, if Walter Day finds himself on the East Coast, he should just take a trip to Long Island, visit Roy in his studio. The two of them will make musical magic together. I'm telling you. I'm being serious about that. Roy, you have to check out King of Kong and watch Walter Day's very, I'll call it unique, sort of Bob Dylan-esque.
I love it.
Bob Dylan had a few screws loose.
Okay. Midwest Walter meets East Side Dave.
Ooh, I like that.
That would be beautiful. Well, listen, if Walter Day is going to go to Roy's studio, I will definitely be there on the drums, rocking and rolling with both of those guys.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But by the way,
Never seen Roy and Walter in the same room. or at the same
No,
time?
Roy and Walter actually have a very similar look. But
yeah.
Roy's
That's what
got
I'm
more
getting
hair
at.
than Walter.
He's
yeah,
got
that's the thing.
the Kim Jong-un haircut that I got going on now.
Well,
You like that?
you
Dave?
have hair and Walter does not. That's
Oh.
literally the only difference between the both of you. Same beard, same slight little frame. You're diminutive people.
About
Billy
the
and
same-
I are in the 6 foot
They're-
club.
they're
You
about
and
the
Walter
same
are.
age.
Go ahead, Bill.
They're about the same age.
Oh, yeah. They're both ancient, right, Billy?
Yeah, it's funny. One time I took Walter in an antique store. They wouldn't let him leave. I mean, it was pretty-
Oh, well, let's talk about this, Bill. Because Walter, as we're saying, left Twin Galaxies in 2010. The company, the really fantastic contributions that Twin Galaxies under Walter Day brought to the video game world. They took things seriously. They created the first set of record books and saying, okay, this person's the best player in the world at this game. Important stuff. But Walter retires in 2010 to pursue the musical career. So the guy who steps in, his name is Jace Hall. He's the guy who took over for Walter as the CEO of Twin Galaxies. Now, I've heard that you and Jace Hall have an issue or two. What's the deal with Jace Hall?
Well, we have disagreed on a few things, as you might know. I recently worked them out with him very favorably for myself.
Good.
But he's a guy that, what can I say? There's a lot of news. There's a lot of controversy about him. There's a lot of interesting facts, whether those facts are real or whether those facts have not been thoroughly investigated. I don't know because I don't waste my time on it.
Well, we don't want to get sued either, so we're going to use the words purportedly and we're going to use the words allegedly. And that's all we can do. And that meets legal standards. But I have a story now. Jace Hall, the CEO of Twin Galaxies, was recently arrested for allegedly vandalizing a high school football field.
I got sent that story as well. As far as my due diligence to investigate it, I gave a grand total of 0 due diligence to it, and I didn't want to waste my time with it. I find it really interesting. First of all, if it is true, really, are you kidding me?
How
if
old
it's
is this
true-
guy?
How old is he? He's like 53.
53, and he's still he has an axe to grind with his high school rival from 40 years ago.
I don't know.
Either that or AstroTurf, David.
What the hell is the matter with this dude?
But
You're
what I
vandalizing
also
a high
find it interesting is if it has not been thoroughly investigated, if it's just being reported, if there's no substance to it, wow, that's kind of interesting. Not that I'm familiar with anything anybody would ever do without thoroughly investigating it.
The website, it looks pretty legit. It's coming from Second News. Second News. And that's the website that says Jace Hall, Twin Galaxies CEO. He says damage to football field. What a crazy nut.
Does it
What did
really
they
say
do?
that? Does it really say that? What a crazy nut.
No, I said that. But I mean, vandalizing a football field, that's got to be one of two things. You threw paint on it or you pooped, Bill. You defecated on the 50-yard line. If you had to pick, since you have a little bit of understanding of who this Jace Hall character is, did he throw paint on the field or did he crap on the 50-yard line?
He's a pretty thorough guy, so maybe he did both. I don't know.
Oh, Roy. Whoa. By the way, Billy, Roy has a few questions for you.
Again?
And, well, you know, he's a massive, massive fan, and he likes the way your brain operates. So he likes to get a little insight, and sometimes even he likes a little Billy Mitchell advice. He likes to seek your counsel, as it were. So let's get to one of those questions for Roy.
Hey, Billy. Roy Harder here. Here's my issue, Billy. The other day, I was going for a world record in Frogger when the guy next to me started choking on a hot dog and collapsed to the floor. Some people rushed to help him, and then they scolded me for not doing anything. I said to them, hey, I'm going for the Frogger record, not the Heimlich record. Did I do the right thing, Billy?
Well, as Dave said, you and I have a lot in common. My motto is, it's not my job to make the other guy feel good. That's his job.
So,
thank you, Billy.
Roy asked the question of, did I do the right thing, Billy? It seems like you agreed that Roy concentrating on the Frogger record, it was the right thing. You would not have helped the man out. What?
No, I would not have.
I thought so. That's a winner.
Yeah, and that guy died doing what he loved, playing video games. What better way to go?
No one said the guy
Sucking on a hot
died.
dog.
They just said he was choking.
Yeah, you don't want him to die. You just want to make him cry a little.
In all honesty, you're going for a Donkey Kong record. There's a guy who, let's say that little Brian Koo fella with the glasses. He's eating a slice of pizza there at the fun spot. And he keels over. He's choking. Bill's right there. You're going for that Donkey Kong record and forget about Koo?
Well, first of all, he probably stole a slice of pizza from me. That's to start with. Number two, he's not supposed to have pizza in the game room, okay? So he set up his own failure, and he wants to make me responsible for that.
No, I did not know this, Bill. And I visited Fun Spot because of you. I took a pilgrimage to New Hampshire to visit Fun Spot specifically because of Billy and because of King of Kong. It's a fantastic place, by the way. I can absolutely verify that Fun Spot rules. I didn't know you can't bring one of those slices of pizza into the gaming room.
Well, they have a place that you would really like. It's downstairs because it's a pub. Oh. So generally you would eat in a pub while you have your pizza.
Okay.
No food in the consoles.
Billy,
Remember, I got a little pull around there. I don't know about you.
I don't got nothing over there. You got to give me some of those Billy Mitchell business cards. I can start using them again. Because I do have the poster, though, but it's a little too big for a card. I can't just take this out of the wallet. It's very large. Look at that. Billy.
I love that you have a poster to display for everybody, but if you look right behind your head, you've also got it hanging on your wall of fame, too. That's clearly how much you love Billy.
I love Billy. Billy, you hang on my wall every step of the way. I'm not one of these weird, there we go. One of these jealous freaks. Billy Mitchell, don't be jealous because his character design was in Pixels, or because Billy was in King of Kong, or because Billy was on MTV, or because Billy has been featured all over media, television, and movies. It's obvious jealousy. I know a thing or two about jealousy.
Yeah, don't be jealous of me because I'm on East Side Dave. Don't do it.
That's right. What, Roy?
Yes, sir.
That question was weird. So just give him another question and let's make it a little more sane, please.
Really quick, Billy. Hey, Billy, Roy Harder here. Really quick question for you. My friend Andrew Gold, you know him by the name Big A, Billy. Well, he isn't sure if Cubert's nose is a penis or a vagina because it sort of looks like both. Now, Thanks, Billy. I'll hang up and listen to your response.
All right. You know what, Bill? Ignore that completely. Let's not even do that. And that's a question that Big A obviously texted Roy to ask because Andrew, I think, has asked that before. Big A's problem is that the nose does have a penis look to it, Bill, but then there's a huge hole in the front, which then kind of has the vagina thing. That's where the confusion lies with Andrew. But Andrew should not have been texting Roy that question, Roy. Shame on you. No. Putting the hands up is not going to do anything in this scenario.
Okay, I'll put him down. Shame on Andrew.
But you've seen Andrew.
Right.
When I look at Andrew and I think of Cubert, and I look at Andrew, I kind of get confused too. I do.
Bill.
Yes, sir.
Hot sauce. Everyone knows when it comes to not just the state of Florida, the entire southern United States of America. The number one hot sauce that dominates the competition is Ricky's Hot Sauce. I have a bottle right here. And there it is. It's Steve Weeb, and there's Billy. Talk to me about how the hot sauce is going, you entrepreneur, you.
Well, I'm actually not a really smart technical guy, and I mean that seriously, not at all. Every time I'm on your show, my wife has to hook it up for me. Okay, she knows what she's doing. So my son, he's sharp as a razor, and he has begun an e-commerce business that actually this is the very first show or interview I've ever done about it. It's rickysauce.com. And if you go on rickysauce.com, you can buy it in a 3-pack. And if you use the code word Dave, it's a 20% discount. No kidding.
Oh, my Lord. Okay, rickysauce.com. Use promo code Dave. Get yourself 20% off.
Correct.
Look at you.
That's a lot.
Oh, there it is.
Roy, have you ever had Ricky's? I have. It's utterly delicious. You know where I like to use my Ricky's hot sauce? Popcorn. I put microwave popcorn. I put it in the damn microwave. I take the popcorn out of the microwave. I do not pour the popcorn into a bowl yet. I take my Ricky's hot sauce. I open up the bag. I pour a good helping of Ricky's in. Then I close the bag. I shake it up. The hot sauce is there. Then I pour it into the bowl. And make sure you have yourself a nice, tall Sprite or 7-Up. You want a lemon lime soda to go with this. Billy, this is one of Davey Mac's favorite treats. The microwave popcorn and the Ricky's hot sauce that Billy Mitchell has provided. Oh, my God. That's my movie snack right there.
They started doing it down in Louisiana, just like you said, and they've nicknamed it Cajun corn.
Oh, hell yeah. I've been doing this, though, Bill, for 15 years. I've been using my Ricky's hot sauce for 15 years doing that. Just completely enhancing the whole microwave popcorn experience, Bill.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
And I've been watching Cajun porn for at least, 2-3 years now.
Corn. Cajun corn, not Cajun porn.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Don't feel bad.
Yes, you're bad. It's not. Robert, what were you going to say? Because I'm disappointed in Roy today.
I also got that confused, but somebody was curious how many Scoville units the hot sauce is.
Well, there's the most common, which is the cayenne sauce. That's about 25,000 Scoville units. But there's jalapeno, there's habanero, there's ghost. The ghost goes up to about 800,000.
Wait, whoa, what the hell are these numbers? 800,000 to what? This sounds fantastic.
Well, what a Scoville unit is, it was created by a guy, last name was Scoville. You put 1 drop of hot sauce in a bucket, it takes 800,000 drops to dilute it entirely to where you can't detect it.
Huh. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Incredible. I did not
that's
know
the way
that.
they measure stuff. It's kind of crazy. But it's funny, somebody really smart on your cast knew to ask about Scoville units because most people don't know what that is.
I mean, let's not call Robert smart. Then me and Roy will get very angry.
Well, he was smart enough to read the question.
Yeah, I just stole it from Articulate John.
But the problem is, and that's only because Robert's the only one who can read on our show. Roy and Roy can read musical notes, and I'm pretty good with numbers. But as far as the alphabet goes,
yeah, and what's funny is, again, when you go on the website rickysauce.com, it doesn't even speak of Scoville units because so few people know about it. Now that your audience is asking about it, maybe that tells us we should put it on there.
And now that we're educating the American public on this very important day, the very first ever Billy Mitchell on the Davey Mac Sports Program Hot Sauce Day, January 20th, 2025. Make sure you go to rickysauce.com, put in the promo code Dave for 20% off. Billy, you're always on the go. What do we got going on? You do a lot of events, a lot of appearances. You got something going on? You got somewhere we're going? Are we going to a convention soon? Are we going to be making a live appearance somewhere?
Well, my favorite thing coming up is September in Tokyo. The launch of the movie, when it premieres in different cities, for example, in New York, there's going to be a handful of tickets for you and your staff.
This is the Walter Day doc you're talking?
Yes, and I've already made arrangements for that.
What?
This is what happens when you know me.
We're going to a movie premiere?
Yeah, you'll be in the front row.
Holy shit.
Oh, I'm excited for this. Make sure you keep Roy Harder away from me.
It's funny. I can't remember the theater that they use in the New York area. Maybe you already know it. But it'll be a perfect chance for you to demonstrate your Cajun corn.
You know, Bill, first of all, I'm down. When I show people how to administer the Ricky's hot sauce, how to properly shake the bag, how to pour it out discreetly, I'm telling you, people are going to be like, oh my God, Davey Mac's Cajun corn, this is the shit. Bill, I got another question for you.
I'm ready.
Okay. You got the record in Donkey Kong.
All
and
the way
then
back.
some jealous freaks started saying, oh, he cheated. Oh, he played it on a home board. Blah, blah, blah. He used it at home. And I'm thinking, who cares? If you play on a Donkey Kong machine, who cares if you play it in an arcade, in your house, in an igloo, in a volcano? It doesn't matter as long as you're playing the machine. And it has all of that BS died down, or do you still get these little runts, these little sycophants and weasels trying to take a shot at the man, Bill Mitch?
Well, the truth is they don't bring it to my attention like in any face-to-face manner just because they don't get out of their mother's basement. But the facts are that every one of those scores that were done in a public venue on equipment that belonged to someone else with officiating people there. But then I just went out and all I did was go to a public events again and repeat the scores and beat the scores. So my after that, I started saying to people, what do you want me to do? Do I got to come to your house and do it? I mean,
That's
the smack talk from Billy Mitchell is just the absolute best.
Yeah, it was so. In the end, everything came together. All the evidence came together so solidly that
I've been saying this for years. As Billy's, what I like to think of myself is his video game wrestling manager. Okay, that if we ever had to get in, a cage and beat someone up, I'd be on the outside rooting Billy on. He'd be destroying whoever he had to face. The guy's 6'6".
Yeah,
okay. But I would be Billy's manager. Okay. Which is what I do. I am New Jersey's greatest manager, by the way. But the fact that these people still try this nonsense is beyond lame. At some point, you don't just move on, and how about trying setting records for yourselves rather than accusing someone else? My point has always been at that Time magazine, or what was it? Life magazine 20 years ago, they had a huge spread with a photo shoot, and they had the guys playing live there. 20 years ago at the Live magazine photo shoot with tons of witnesses, Billy Mitchell put up 900,000 points.
correct.
That's it. Case closed.
Yeah. So what were all those people watching if that wasn't a real game?
Oh, that's what I'd like to know, Bill. Roy, what's your damn question? I see you trying to get in with a question already.
Yeah, I noticed that when he wants a question, he gets like antsy in his seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Billy. Roy Harder here again. Have you ever played the game Centipede? Not the arcade game, the human version. It's pretty fun, but it leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
I'm very sure that I haven't played the game Centipede. No.
No, he's talking about Human Centipede. It was a disgusting joke that he made. You don't even have to answer that. Yeah, we're not going to address what Human Centipede is. Roy, do you want to tell him? Since you're the disgusting freak who has sullied this show today with these questions?
It's a Can I say it, Dave?
Go ahead, but please try to keep the language clean. When Billy comes on, we try to do a family-friendly show. I've told you this.
Okay, it's the A to M. A to M.
A human being gets glued to another human being's butt.
M.
Creating a human centipede. But then the poo goes in the mouth. That's why his little joke was it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Good.
He'll go
He's
right through you, Billy. Don't worry about it.
He's an authority,
No, I like when Bill just sits there and responds with nothing.
I wish I could do the same.
Bill. I don't know if you're aware. One of my many talked about podcasts that everyone loves. Robert does it with us, with me, does a great job. Davey Mac's Tales from the Satellite, where I discuss my nearly 10-year Sirius XM career. At some point between, obviously, Ron and Fez, but also Opie and Anthony, Special Delivery starring Sam and Dave, and a little Davey Mac Sports Program. Coming up this year at some point, we're going to do an episode where Sam and I, on Special Delivery, went to North Jersey to, I think it was Richie Knuckles' arcade, and we did a live gig from the Kong Off, which had plenty of controversy because I shut my mouth off a couple times. Do you remember that event, Bill?
Well, I remember the event well, but because I was the co-host of the event, I don't remember you shooting your mouth off.
Yeah, you were really busy. Well, I called the bouncer. This bouncer was like 6'6", 300 pounds, but he also had like really bad stubble and a ponytail and was wearing like a huge like T-shirt with little shorts. So I called the bouncer, the comic book guy from The Simpsons. During commercial break, he walked up to the stage and said, "I don't give a bleep who you are. If you call me any name again, I'm going to come up here on the stage and kill you." And your co-host, Sam Roberts. He was dead serious. Then there was an issue with some, dare I say, Aryan folks, Aryan types.
I got Roy excited.
This is West Jersey, not North Jersey, which is Sopranos. West Jersey's more Deliverance. And these men were forcing me to drink moonshine. And if I didn't do it, I felt like, it was going to be like a Mississippi burning type of scenario where I was going to be disappeared in a river. You have no memory of this? Because there was all kinds of insanity that went off at this Congo. When we do the episode at some point, there's going to be a lot to say. You remember that, Billy?
No, I don't remember that. As a matter of fact, if that's what happened to you, I can't imagine what happened to Sam.
Oh, no, Sam wasn't. They knew that Sam wasn't going to have a sip of that moonshine. But they're like, oh, but that redhead guy, we'll get him to drink the moonshine.
Then again,
we're going to talk to him about all our plans. Plans for a clean America. A nice, clean America, man. You like that moonshine? Oh, yeah. It gets rid of a lot of problems. You know how else we could get rid of a lot of problems in America? There's a few groups of people anyway.
It is West Jersey, like you said.
West Jersey, like I tell people, you got to be careful. Not all in New Jersey is the Sopranos or the Situation and Snooki. You got some weird pockets there where it turns southern and scary real fast. What's your question, Roy, for Bill?
Hey, Billy.
Jeez.
Roy Harder in the house here. Listen, I was wondering if the ghosts in Pac-Man were once Pac-Men themselves who were murdered by the Colombian cocaine cartel. Is that their backstory, Billy? Also, why do I have a rash on my crotch?
Okay. Bill, you don't have to answer the second part of that. I don't know why Roy talked to you about his rash. But I would like to know the backstory of those ghosts in Pac-Man. Were they actual little Pac-Men and died? Or what's the deal there? Who are those ghosts? What's their story?
The Pac-Man came on the scene. The Pac-Ghost came on the scene in 1980. And it was in the 1980s that the Colombian drug cartels were snuffed out. So what does that tell you who won?
So you're agreeing with Roy. You think that this could have been a sort of a message about say no to drugs. Otherwise, you're going to wind up like ghosts stuck in a Pac-Man board.
And Pac-Man always wins, at least when I play.
You know what? Please stop finger gun shooting Billy Mitchell, Roy. I don't know what that move is. Roy, did you know that Bill has a move in Pac-Man where you showed this move to me and Sam live on Special Delivery? He came to Special Delivery in the Sirius XM building one time with a Pac-Man video game, an entire console. It was fantastic. And then he shows me this move where if you're Pac-Man, you go in a certain corner of the board.
Yeah.
And you could just stay there, have yourself a sandwich. The ghosts never, ever approach you and kill you.
That can't be true. I do not.
It is true.
Is this true, Billy?
Billy, is this true, or am I lying about this?
It's absolutely true. And when I travel, I bring a machine because I don't travel light. Yeah.
Bill, Notre Dame plays Ohio State tonight. That's the play like a champion sign that Notre Dame has in their arena, and the players always touch it. I was given that sign myself, and I have not been abusing the luck. I've only been knocking 3 times before game day. Not twice, not 4 times, not 5, nothing. Just 3 times, and no knocking during the game either. It's before the game. Knock 3 times, and then we're going to go. Billy, who do you like here? Notre Dame or Ohio State?
Well, if you're picking Notre Dame, somebody has to pick Ohio State, and I'll pick Ohio State. But what are we wagering?
Well, it's not a great wager. Ohio State's favored to win. Notre Dame's the underdog. You're going to have to give me a little something.
All right.
Okay. What would you like to wager? Well, if Notre Dame loses, I could shave my head on the show next week live.
Let me tell you, everybody in the world could lose, and I ain't shaving my head. All right, so we're going to meet in New York at the premiere of Arcades and Love Songs, Walter Day's movie. Again, when it premieres in New York. The loser, everything the other guy wants at the snack bar.
Okay. That's good.
The loser's got to pay the snack bar tab.
I like that. It's nice. It's wholesome. And trust me, Bill, I like if Notre Dame wins. Oh, buddy, I want Sour Patch Kids. Yeah. I want Junior Mints. Yeah. I want you to bring a bottle of Rickies. I'm going to get the biggest popcorn that I can and put the Rickies on it. I also want, let's see, peanut M&Ms.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Well, you're getting closer. Usually I just look at the menu and say, okay. I order one of everything.
Well, here's the deal with Notre Dame, Ohio State. I will be rooting for the Irish. Ohio State's supposed to win. Here's the deal. If Riley Leonard, the Notre Dame quarterback, cannot turn the ball over, and if Marcus Freeman, their head coach, can do 1, 2 bold decisions, that's what we're going to call them. Whether we're talking about a fake punt, an important 4th and 3, we're going for it. But Marcus Freeman needs to successfully make 1 or 2 bold decisions and, yes, be successful at them. Riley Leonard not turn the ball over, they will have a chance. And that's all we can ask for, Billy, a chance at success.
Well, look at your analysis here. Okay?
Yes.
You're giving all these hypotheticals. Here's what I say. If Ohio State can manage to score more points, then they'll win. I mean, basically, that's the opposite end of what you just said.
I mean, that's good analysis. It's kind of Roy Harder-esque, just simply saying, well, what Ohio State needs to do is score more points than Notre Dame.
I just got a question popped up on my screen here from one of my viewers. It's a question for Roy.
All right. Go ahead. This is exciting.
Roy, Is anything still alive in your beard, or has it all died?
Roy, I don't think that was a Billy Mitchell viewer. I think he made that comment up himself and threw you under the bus. Oh, you're pointing to nothing.
Right here.
Right here. Boy, I never saw a Roy Harder versus Billy Mitchell rivalry developing. But that's apparently what's happened. Do you have a question for him, Roy?
I do, actually.
Speaking to you.
Hey, Billy. It's your boy Roy here. Anyway, quick question about Dig Dug. My gaming friend Ricky says I should wear pants when I play Dig Dug, especially when I'm at his house. Who's in the right here, Bill?
What
Dig
the
Dug.
hell? He's playing video games.
Well, I kind of think when you're at his house, you should always wear pants. Why don't you start there?
Yeah, Roy. First of all, it's kind of weird to play video games with no pants on, even in your own home, but especially when you're at your friend's house.
It's Dig Dug.
Dig Dug. That's the game you're playing with no pants on?
Yeah, you get a little shovel and you're digging.
I'm familiar with the game, bro. Why are you not wearing pants when you play Dig Dug?
Is his name Doug?
Do you dig a man named Doug? And this whole thing is some sort of confession?
First name is Deep Dug.
Billy, first of all, this Walter Day movie, again, arcades and love songs, the Walter Day story, it's going to hit Netflix in February. And the article said that I read about it said, don't look at it as a sequel. Look at it as a cousin. Look at it as a cousin of King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters. That Billy's going to be in it. Steve Weeby's going to be in it, but this is Walter Day centric. I'm really excited for this. This is extremely cool. Do you know anything about the movie, or have you heard about it?
Let's start with, it's only been shown at the film festival, or premiered in at the film festival in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where it won first place, I believe. So that's pretty cool. Woo! But it's you should be careful, Mr. Dave, when you see this. Don't let anybody have you on camera, because the rumor now is that when everybody walks out of the theater, they're all teary-eyed about the story.
Emotional. That's the power of music.
Yeah, so you don't want to be caught on camera, you know.
I know, crying.
But I can tell you, it is absolutely a true story. It follows Walter through all of his years, but it really gets geared up around 1986 when it first hit him, and the reason why music hit him. And he faced a tragedy in his life. The one time when I really did think that Walter was going to get married, and he didn't. He sort of faced the tragedy, and it goes from there. But it's absolutely a true story. And through all these years, as you know, I've known him, and he kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to do my music." And I just kept brushing him aside. Yeah, you ain't going anywhere. But it's kind of cool that he actually really, really did it. I mean, He did a studio, an album, songs, written, composed, everything, all the voice and acting exercises that he did and everything. It's awesome. Actually really cool.
That's awesome.
I'm glad it's happening to him, not to me. But
this sounds awesome. Well, what I also heard about the documentary is, and again, it's Walter specific, but I heard that it touches on the fact that, like, how did King of Kong, say, affect Billy's life, Steve Weeb's life? Would you say that King of Kong impacted your life negatively or positively, or neither?
Oh, no, tremendously positive.
Positive.
Yeah, tremendously.
Well, because
the idea that you play the antagonist in a movie, and everybody gets like this. Well, what are you kidding me? I mean, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. He played the antagonist, but he doesn't really go out in the street and start shooting people. It's what he plays, but what he gains or what is brought to him because of it, the opportunities he has. When you play the antagonist, you do have to lean into the role. You do have to have fun with it. There's a certain amount of people who simply are incapable of having fun, who think everything they see on the screen is genuine and that there's no, positive emotion to it is absurd.
You would have been great on the Ron and Fez show, Bill. You should have been a producer because, there's a fine line of what's real and what isn't real. Because one of the things that I love about that movie to this very day is when there's the part towards the end of the movie where Steve Weeb's in Florida playing an arcade. Billy lives in Florida. And they're trying to get Billy to go to the arcade. And they're like, man, he won't even show up and play Steve Weeby. And he literally lives like 15 minutes away. And then you do show up. And you just walk right past him. He's playing Donkey Kong. And you're walking there with Mrs. Mitchell. And, the cold shoulder, the villainous look. I'm like, this is the man. This is fantastic stuff. This is cinematic, in my opinion. And there's a lot of people, Bill, who can't handle being the heel. You and I can. That's the difference between the both of us.
The idea was at that point in the movie, if I understand correctly, was the movie starts off glorifying me, and then it slowly turns. That point of the movie was supposed to be where the knife really twisted, like, ooh, and the hatred really came towards the antagonist. And they did a good job. What can I tell you?
Yeah, it's still one of the most entertaining documentaries of all time. If you've never seen The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters, I don't know what's wrong with you. I always point out, though, there is another great documentary, but it's specifically about like that time period and those guys who were at that Life magazine photo shoot. It's called Chasing Ghosts. I believe it's available on Prime Video. And I own that one as well. I own King of Kong and I own Chasing Ghosts. Chasing Ghosts is the one where it's got like, everyone who was awesome in like 1984, 85, 86. You're a part of that one as well. What was the experience about Chasing Ghosts? Did you like that one? Or
as you said, it was the same events, the same timeline. And quite honestly, I didn't play the bad guy, and everybody loves the bad guy. I mean, when you
King of Kong feels like a story, and Chasing Ghosts is more like this is just a documentary. This is a look at 84 through 87 arcade video game guys. Yeah.
Well, going back to where you said how it benefited me, when you watch Star Wars, nobody tunes in to see, what happened with Princess Leia. They want to know what's happening with Darth Vader. And that's what gave King of Kong such an advantage over the other one. When really it was basically telling the same story timeline.
Yeah, right. Roy, one last question for Billy.
Hey, Billy.
And I'm only allowing you one last question after today's performance.
Oh, okay. I thought I was going to ask Roy a question. No, let's have Roy ask me one.
No.
Okay. Hey, Billy.
You can ask him a question if you'd like.
Hey, Billy. Roy Harder here.
Where?
Piece of advice when playing Robotron. Make sure you don't throw urine at the screen if you lose. Bad sportsmanship. Thanks, Bill. I'll hang up now and listen to your response. Big fan, by the way, Billy.
This is it. You're not calling Mike and the Mad Dog. You said that multiple times. You got to stop saying, I'll hang up and listen to your response. Robotron, his piece of advice is don't throw urine at the screen.
Yeah,
I apologize.
The arcade manager will be really pissed.
Get pissed, Roy? Roy, he's quick, man.
He's quick. I know. It's great. I love it.
I'm trying to go. I think I've made a mistake. I'm trying to go easy on Roy today.
I want Billy. It should be me, you, Walter Day, all go to Roy's house. And make just one amazing song. I'll write the song. It'll be a celebration of video games and everything Bill and Walter.
Sounds good. Roy's house. The big house, but we'll go to Roy's house.
Roy, show off that house of yours if you can.
show off the house.
Well, I mean, show Billy your studio because he's got a professional musical studio with a drum set.
I don't know.
With this soundboard. Look at that, Bill.
No popcorn machine.
No popcorn machine, Billy.
Yeah. What happened to the popcorn machine?
I got a Scoville meter.
All right, NFL football real quick. So Notre Dame plays Ohio State tonight. National champion.
That's not NFL.
No, I know. I'm ending the college segment and saying Notre Dame plays Ohio State tonight, and I'm going to be watching intensely, and I don't know what else is going to happen.
I have an inside scoop about that game, Dave.
Yes.
So I'm stuck in Hershey, Pennsylvania with my folks who are Irish Catholic and a Roman Catholic. And so they were watching Mass yesterday. Mass ends. The priest comes out and goes, before we go, we really need our Catholic prayer network. And what did he call for the people to pray for? Notre Dame to win this game. Like, you have God on your side.
It's a Catholic school. You got to do it. If you're Catholic, you can root for Notre Dame. If you're Irish, you can root for Notre Dame. That's the deal.
When you look at the football team, they don't look so Catholic.
No, I've said that for years, Billy. I want to hear one of them say a fucking rosary.
Yeah, they look more like South Side of Chicago religion or something.
A lot of Southern Baptists on that team.
Yeah.
I mean, their pants are tight enough where you can see what religion they basically
All right, Jesus. What the hell's the matter with you people?
What they should do is put like a clover leaf on their helmet. You know.
Why is any of this necessary? They have the most iconic uniforms in the game with those beautiful gold helmets. Nothing on them, just gorgeous, shiny gold. I don't want no clover.
Did you hear they're doing Green Machine tonight, Dave?
No. Let me just discuss this NFL real quick. The Bills beat the Ravens 27-25 because Mark Andrews, the Ravens' excellent tight end, dropped a 2-point conversion that would have tied the game and sent it into overtime. My God, that guy, it's been a while since we've had a Buckner, since we've had a Scotty Norwood, and that is a flat-out choke job. That is an iconic choke job moment. I feel for Mark Andrews, but you have got to make that catch. And as is, I don't want to hear that Lamar Jackson should be winning the MVP over Josh Allen. I don't want to hear it anymore. Lamar threw an interception, had a fumble. It's his first game all year where he's had multiple turnovers. But that's the thing. He saves the playoffs for the first time all season. He has multiple turnovers. Lamar choked, and then Andrews had an absolute all-time choking moment. So the Bills are on their way to the AFC Championship to face the Kansas City Chiefs, who got past the Texans 23-14. They looked okay. A lot of people were pretty upset during the game. I watched all 4 games. People were mad at the refs. That's become the new thing, by the way, Bill. Is because I'm a Giants fan, so I don't get worked up about any of this until the Giants are actually like in the playoffs. But a lot of people are getting worked up, Billy, that they say the Kansas City Chiefs are getting all the calls, that the refs are favoring the Chiefs because Mahomes is a star, Travis Kelce's a star, literally, Taylor Swift is in their box. Yesterday it was Taylor Swift and Caitlin Clark rooting them on. And what do you think about that? There's a part of me that feels like this is the football version of all these weasels and maggots being jealous of Billy's success. And it feels a little bit like people are jealous of Mahomes and Kelsey's girlfriend, Taylor Swift. And so now every single time the Chiefs get a call, it's, the NFL is rigged. Billy, what do you think about this?
Well, let's go back to Mr. Andrews.
Yeah.
I saw that happen, and I was like, literally my words were, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Usually it's a kicker, who gets blamed for a loss.
Scott Norwood.
Right. And no one cares, was it a bad snap? Was it a bad hold? No one cares if it was blocked. You block the ball and they blame it on the kicker. Yeah. So I saw that and I go, oh my gosh. And I think I looked at it because there was nobody for him to blame except him or God. So that's exactly what I said when it happened. But the same person I'm with when I said that is the same person who doesn't like Mahomes, who doesn't like Kelsey, and surely doesn't like Taylor Swift.
Right.
And I don't know. I think when people don't like you for no reason they can really put their thumb on, there's always a reason, and the reason is within them. And whether it's their own lack of self-satisfaction, their own jealousy, I don't know, but I think you hit the nail on the head.
No, that's the way I feel, And by the way, what is this? Like, people talk as if this is something new, as if Michael Jordan and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson didn't get calls in the NBA, or as if, Tom Brady didn't get calls in the NFL. Mega stars get preferential treatment, and that's the way it's existed in sports forever.
And everybody says, oh, they got lucky. No matter what happens, no matter what game, oh, they got lucky. And I always say, you have to be really, really good to get that lucky.
Ben Hogan.
I also say you got to be really, really lucky to be that good.
That's right.
Yeah, Ben Hogan said, golf is a game of luck. The harder I work, the luckier I get.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds like a pickup line.
I used it last night. I was at the bar last night, Bill.
Didn't work.
I got slapped in the face by a middle-aged woman named Donna.
Hole in one.
It's okay. She's a loser, Dave. You don't want her anyway. She doesn't understand the winner's mentality.
Well, also, I was peeing myself at the time.
Well, I mean, you're only going to pick up winners at the bar late on a Saturday night.
It was Sunday. Billy, so that's the AFC side of things. On the NFC side of things, holy cow, the Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels, a rookie, upsets the number 1 seed in the NFC, the Detroit Lions. They're out. A lot of people had the Lions at least go into the Super Bowl, team of destiny this year. Everyone loves the Dan Campbell. After the game, in the press conference, Dan Campbell started crying. He was very upset. It's funny to see that guy cry because he's huge. But they choked. Another choke job. And now the Detroit Lions organization, I think, has a very tough decision to make. Hey, you know what? Maybe Jared Goff isn't the guy. Because Jared Goff, when the lights shine bright, he shrinks away. He's another Chokey McChokerson over there, this Goff. He don't like it. The pressure gets to this kid. And that's the way I feel about that, Bill.
It's funny because during the game, not yesterday's game, but last weekend, I was seated with somebody having something to eat in the bar, and a bunch of people, yay, cheered, and we turned and looked real quick, and they go, sorry, we're Detroit fans, because Detroit made a great play. And I said, that's okay. You guys don't get a whole lot of chances to cheer. And my wife said, oh, my God, Bill, you're brutal. She picked on me for it. And so then yesterday, we're watching the game, and I want to reflect on the fact that you say, for no reason, people come up with stuff. We're sitting there and we're watching the game, and somebody I'm with is rooting for Detroit against the Commanders, and I didn't understand why. And I mean, I just didn't, because this person's from New York,
right?
And he says, "Well, I don't root for the Commanders because I don't like their new name." The hell kind of answer is that? You don't like the new name. The fact that they're Washington Commanders and not the Redskins anymore, so they're going to root against the Commanders.
That's weird.
That's weird. And what's the logic? What's the logic in that? Just like you say, what's the logic in somebody not liking or not rooting for somebody or choosing a different team?
Yeah, he really. I mean, I don't like the name Commanders, but it's not something that that would not deter me from rooting for them, especially if I was a fan. By the way, did you ever hear my idea of how they should have named that team and what they could have done? And
no,
this is a brilliant, this is a sincere Davey Mac genius idea. And I have at least 3 of them a year.
I'd like to hear it.
the Skins. People always called them the Skins. They called them, if you're in Washington, D.C., in that greater area, you called them the Skins. You take away the feathers on the side of the helmet and you touch nothing. What is that uniform? It's got red, brown, black, yellow, and white. You say these are all the colors of the human skins. And then you just call them the Skins, and now all of a sudden it feels like you really didn't lose that much. At the end of the day, you just lose the feathers on the side of the helmet and the word red. Outside of that, you could have just called them the Skins and kept everything as is. Come on, that was a good idea, Bill, but no one listened to me.
That is a good idea, and regardless of who you are and what your ethnicity is, you got skin in the game.
Oh.
And wait a second. What is this thing now? Roy gives a thumbs up to Billy when he hits one of his patented one-liners. Yeah. I know, but why are you his fucking Ed McMahon all of a sudden?
I can't help it, Dave. They're really good.
Telling you, he's Walter Day, Dave.
You're shooting a finger gun at Billy. You're giving him thumbs up.
Yeah, he's hitting them out of the park, buddy.
Yeah. So from the start of the show until now, I guess I've won Roy over. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Roy going to be invited to the movie premiere in New York City?
He'll be invited.
Me?
Yeah. No, I'm asking Billy.
No, I think we got to invite him, like you said, and on the phone earlier today. We got to invite him because we got to have somebody, pay for the snack bar.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to tell anybody you said that.
And then the last NFC game in the football was the Eagles beating the Rams 28-22. Hey, I'm glad that my team, the New York Football Giants, I'm glad that Joe Shane's like, well, Saquon Barkley's 27, and you shouldn't overpay for running backs when they're around the age of 28. I'm glad our moronic general manager said that on national television when he was on HBO's Hard Knocks series saying, we don't need Saquon. You know what Saquon did yesterday? He ran for 205 yards and 2 TDs. 205 is what Saquon Barkley ran for. But Joe Shane didn't want to keep Saquon Barkley and give him $13 million because he's 27 years old. This is why I hate Joe Shane. This is why I hate the Giants right now. Billy, Saquon Barkley, unbelievable. I mean, that guy, I guarantee you, if he got his hands on a Pitfall or a Frogger or a Donkey Kong, he could probably do some damage, no?
No, he'd absolutely do some damage.
What do you think? Billy, has there ever been an athlete who has, like, maybe after their sports career was over, transitioned into being a great video game player?
No, but there has been one person who's really, really good, and not an athlete, but Eminem, as in rapper.
Wow.
What
he's
game?
Really, really good at Donkey Kong. Really good.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
Donkey Kong is impossible. That's the hardest game out there.
No, he's like over 500,000 points.
Oh, wow.
Last I heard, he might be higher by now.
That's actually incredible. Being familiar with, if you get 800,000, you're all of a sudden that's the zone.
Yeah.
People start looking at you for like breaking records. 500,000 is ridiculous.
Yeah. And
how many levels would that be? I can get to like level 4, maybe.
Yeah. No, he'd be halfway to the end of the game.
Wow.
Holy cow.
So he'd be 50 or 60 screens in.
50 or 60 levels, Roy.
About 60, wow. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I mean,
Robert, did you have something you were going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of famous people who are good at video games, Billy, what are your thoughts on Elon Musk and Diablo 4? Have you followed that situation at all?
What?
No, I haven't.
What is it, Robert?
I'm going to make a fool of myself.
No,
I'll give you some
know.
backstory. Elon was in the news. He was, in the top percentage of these Diablo 4 players, and then it came out that the numbers he was putting up versus when people watched him live stream, you wouldn't be able to get the numbers playing the way he does. And then it came out that potentially he's sharing his account with people to help boost his rank and get more points.
Oh, no.
We need another investigation.
Yes.
No, we have a vintage Steve Sanders scenario from 40 years ago. Now Billy's friend, right? You guys are still buddies.
Yes.
But 40 years ago, Roy, Steve Sanders sent in a score to Twin Galaxies, said he got like 2 million points in Donkey Kong, and turned out, Roy, it was more like 200,000. Extra zero. And now, and you forgave Steve Sanders for that.
He was a kid. You know, it's kind of like with your bank account. You just move the decimal a little to the left, a little to the right.
I know it very well, Billy. That one I do know. That trick I do know.
Well, that'll do it.
All
we
right.
had a wonderful time with you, but now it's time to get prepared for the big college football game tonight. Ohio State, Notre Dame. Go Irish. I'm desperate for a championship. The Yankees have disappointed me so many times lately. The New York Football Giants are a non-factor. I love the Knicks. That's another team that I love. I don't know if they can win an NBA championship this year, but I do love the Knicks. They've been playing pretty decent basketball. But honestly, the only one who has a chance is Notre Dame. The chances tonight, they have a chance right in front of them. Get a championship. Make some people happy, for crying out loud. It's been 1988 was the last Notre Dame championship. It's time. It's time, Billy. Please, let's do this. Look at that sign. And that's all they have to do. They have to say, they have to play like a champion today, Bill.
Yep.
And if they do that, they can win. Billy,
Sir,
you're the greatest video game player of all time. I don't want to hear about anybody else. I don't want to hear that Big A Andrew Gold put up some score in Pitfall. I don't want to hear about Roy Harder doing something in Tetris. He claims he can get up to 206 levels in Tetris. I call BS. I don't want to hear nothing. I want to hear Billy Mitchell. That's it. He's the number one player of all time. Everyone else is just second rate. Let's be honest.
The game room is almost finished upstairs. I'm going to start streaming live, and when I do, I want you to come on, and on a split screen, we'll both play.
That would be amazing.
Ooh.
Wow. That would be amazing. Well, we got to upload this show and do all that stuff, but that would be amazing. I'm going to do that one day. By the way, one thing I do, Billy, is my thing is I go on Nintendo Switch Online and play Mario Kart. I'm a Mario Kart enthusiast. I usually play as Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars. So if you see Palpatine, that's me. But I tweeted out the pictures yesterday. I just created a little Mike Francesa. So I'm now also playing as Francesa. It just says Francesa on it. If you see Palpatine or Francesa, that's the Dave man. That's my game. I have over 11,000 online points, Bill.
I'm Big Dick McGee if you want to play against me too.
I'll be careful.
Okay.
But listen,
yes.
Just for Davey Mac, remember, it's 20%, but they got to say the name Dave. If they don't deserve it.
Ricky'sSauce.com is the website. Grab yourself the most delicious hot sauce out there and use the promo code Dave for 20% off. Ricky'sSauce.com and use Dave as the promo code for 20% off. Billy Mitchell, you are not only the greatest video game player of all time, but on Inauguration Day, in this grand country of yours, of ours, I'm going to call you the greatest American of all time. No other Americans. I don't see not one Democrat, not one Republican consistently wearing an American flag tie. And Billy has upwards of 28 American flag ties, and now he's adding the American flag pocket square, Roy.
I see that.
So you want to talk about patriotism, you're talking Billy Mitchell. You want to talk video games, you're talking Billy Mitchell. He's the greatest video game player of all time and the greatest American of all time. And we want to thank you for appearing on the Davey Mac Sports Program and for all the years you've given us there. It's 15 years, Bill, since I've been talking. My first interview with you was 2010.
Yep. What happened? I'm going to tell your audience. You wanted me to come to this. You wanted me to do an interview. You called me on the phone. Back then it was phone, not Zoom. Then I showed up just outside of New York City, and I called to say, hey, you really want me on the show? I'll be there this Saturday. And you and Sam were on vacation. You came back from your vacation to do the show.
That's
and
right.
I thought, wow. Man, I felt like, okay, I won't lie to you. I felt like a big shot. You interrupted your vacation.
That's a true story, Roy. That's the go-getter spirit that the Dave Man brings to the table. Sam and I literally were on vacation, and I said, listen, I got Billy Mitch. He's in New York, but he's got to, screw vacation, all right? Get back here. We're going into the studio on Saturday. We're going to talk to the GOAT of gaming, Billy Mitchell. And that's what you did. And you were fantastic then, and you were fantastic on every appearance now. And you always bring a little controversy, you always bring a little chaos, but you also bring a little fun and a little wisdom and a little tolerance, especially for Roy Harder's bullshit.
Well, I got one last question for Roy.
Go ahead, Billy.
But I'm going to make him wait till the next show.
Oh.
I'm going to tell you, this episode on a scale of Scoville scale, I'd say this was a 1,000,000 Scoville rated show. Hot.
Very good, sir.
I like the lukewarm. Yeah, very good. Can you wrap up now? I'm sick of that guy. I'm sick of the keyboard player.
All right.
All right. Listen, we love you.
It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. We love you.
I've sat here and I've said, and I really have to my family, I go, man, I wish there was something special I could do for Dave. Like, remember when we went to that arcade down in
like Cherry Hill. It was by Cherry Hill, New Jersey, right?
Yeah, and so the idea that just because people listen to you, they get a 20% discount. I don't mean to sound funny. That's the least I can do.
No, it's awesome. RickySauce.com. And I'm dead serious. Ricky's hot sauce is absolutely delicious. It's what I put on my popcorn. That is not a joke. That is very, very real. This is my own testimony that I love the Ricky's hot sauce on all items, but especially on that popcorn. Oh, baby. Anyway, you're the greatest of all time, Billy. We love you. Come back again. We know you will, but come back again, and we'll talk about the movie premiere. We'll talk about the arcades and love songs, the Walter Day story hitting Netflix in February, and we'll discuss all of our good stuff here. And what's that championship belt? I see a championship belt.
And I'll share next time. I'll share a little bit of movie controversy with you.
Oh, all right.
A little bit of inside scoop.
Woo! All right. We got a little movie controversy for the next Billy Mitchell appearance.
As Paul Harvey used to say, I'll tell you the rest of the story.
Bobby Tamburo, anything to plug real quick?
Yeah, January 31st, I'll be at the Soho Playhouse.
All right. Excellent. Roy Harder, plug?
Not a goddamn thing, buddy.
Billy, do you have any thing you'd like to plug? Any promotion besides RickySauce.com? 20% off if you use the promo code Dave.
And Walter Day, Arcade and Love Songs, watch for it next month.
Yeah, Netflix. It's going to be in Netflix on February. I can't wait to see it. All right, well, that'll do it. For Roy Harder, for Bobby Tamburo, for the great Billy Mitchell. Let's go Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My name is Eastside Dave McDonald. Good night, everybody.